Hey guys, welcome to another episode with Cup of Nurses. We'll skip our beautiful intro.
Why? I like our intro.
You like our intro?
Yeah.
I would like for you guys to take some time to review the show, give us a 5-star. We really appreciate you guys. We have not been spending any money on marketing in the past couple months, and because we've been working on so many little projects that are coming very, very soon. In less than 3 weeks, I'll put a deadline in right now. A month, for sure.
Plus or minus 2 weeks.
It's been a roller coaster of a month in the past couple months with everything. And even what just happened where we're going to share the story, whole Arizona thing. It's been wild. But thank you guys for listening to us. What I was saying is we've been getting a lot of downloads. We've been noticing people are actually listening to us. We appreciate that. And we will not disappoint. And we're going to just keep on rocking with you guys. How you doing, freaking Peter?
I'm doing good. And just, guys, don't forget, our anti-study guide is technically finished, but we haven't put it out there for you guys yet. But if you guys want early access, if you're taking your NCLEX soon and you want to have some content to look over, as like supplementation to your questions, just hit us up, let us know, and we can probably send you.
Send us an email.
Yeah, send us an email or just message one of us or even the couple nurses Instagram, and we would just send you a copy and you could Cash App us or something.
Cash App or Snap Cash.
Yeah, whatever the kids are doing nowadays. And then also Patreon, it's still in the works. Still working on that. It's a whole learning curve, one thing at a time. So we got to figure out how to run everything together. And then plus thing about doing Twitch as well.
We are.
And maybe even some game streaming. Maybe it wouldn't be bad. Some COD in these troubled times of COVID.
Peter, I just realized that me and you are both on vacation literally for 2 months. We could totally do a gaming stream.
Yeah, we can. And guys, this is the first time we've been together in like 7 months. I thought it was 4, but the math corrected me it was 7 months.
Yeah, I've been travel nursing for 7 months.
That's wild,
It's been a while.
I have not been travel nursing for 7 months. I've been staff nursing.
Which is just as good.
Yeah.
You had your time here. And that's what I love about staff nursing is you have those cool ass people, and like I miss actually the last contract I did work at. I did have such a cool connection with people that I felt like I was at home where, hey, I know these 3 people working, it's going to be a good shift. We can mess around. We were doing some goofy shit, doing broad jumps and all this kind of cool shit. So I do miss that, and I had that a little bit. So it's nice that you have that.
Yeah, it's cool because we started incorporating like a little fitness, like a fitness minute, or it probably was maybe 10 minutes or whatever. But we would do air squats, and then the boys would do push-ups after that. And then we tried to do pull-ups, but the pull-ups that we did were just holding onto the door.
Oh man,
and
that's
we would
rough.
just do it that way, just the door by itself, and because there was no room. Because even if you try to bring a pull bar, there's no way we could install the pull bar because we were trying to figure that out. But the way our doors are shaped and like the length of them and just the way they're positioned, there's no way you could fit a pull bar in there. So now we thought about putting in the patient's room, like in between the glass sliding doors. That wouldn't have worked either. So we just did air squats and push-ups, which wasn't bad. I think that's all we did: air squats and push-ups.
So those people that say that night shift nurses are lazy and they just sit and eat, no, we don't, man. We work out. We stay fit, too. We do some pull-ups.
Yeah, we have to, man, especially because this whole COVID shutdown. Like, here in Illinois, gyms are starting to... This might be good for COVID episode, but, like, I was looking at the stats 2 days ago, and Texas surpassed Illinois with COVID cases, yeah. So it's wild. So I think Illinois is, like, 5th or 6th, and then Texas is now, like, 4th or 5th.
Well, it's like Arizona, right? We went there. We went to Walmart because we had an Airbnb. We were shopping, and you didn't even have to have a mask to come in. People were just walking without a mask. It was
wild,
interesting.
Dude. Yeah, same way in Florida people still wear masks in Florida, but maybe we'll talk about that a little bit on a COVID episode. But like these past 2 months, I probably vacationed more these past 2 months than I have. Because usually I take like a vacation a year for the most part, but like looking back at my schedule and how I plan my days, I like to work a lot of days in a row and have like 5 days off, 6 days off. I always thought like for a vacation you have to be gone for a week. Now I'm starting to realize like 4 or 5 vacation days is completely enough, and I feel like I'm gonna take like more vacations in the future, like during those stretches. If I'm a staff nurse, obviously if I'm doing travel nursing, that might be a little different. Or actually, even if we're travel nursing, if we get lucky and have a good scheduler that'll get our days together, we could take like a little road trip somewhere or just fly somewhere for those 4 or 5 days. Because especially now with COVID, everything's closed anyway, so you can only do a certain amount of things.
And what's cool with travel nursing is if you want to take a vacation every contract in between, you can.
Yeah.
You could take 2 weeks off to yourself, go somewhere, settle back in wherever you want to, and just begin your contract again. I'm actually curious on not working as a nurse for 2 months, how it's going to be going back into it. And you're technically on the same boat because Peter, we got to talk about this.
Yeah,
Peter got into a shitty accident, which we'll talk about, and
it fucking sucked.
He's on medical leave for how much?
Till August 3rd, dude. So that's like a little bit over a month, like a month and 2 weeks almost.
Wow.
Month and a week or whatever it is, but yeah, solid month. Which is wild, dude. I basically went from like being active, doing a bunch of shit a day, to barely being able to fucking move, which is pretty wild, but.
It's a change of pace, man, because you're a very active person, and now you take for granted getting up because your hips hurt or something. You know, It's like, damn, that's just Mother Nature just smacking you in the face right now, and I'm sure you feel very humbled about everything. And
yeah, now my biggest takeaway from this is probably gonna be patience. I've never been in a situation where I have no control over this because it's just my body healing. It's not like a muscle where I could train it. It's not like a bicep where, hey, I don't like my bicep work. Let me do some curls and get them bigger. I know, like you can control that, but like healing and just like the recovery process has nothing to do with you being active. It's just you giving your body just the time to heal itself, and like you can't really do anything to make it faster. Like I can't, heal my skin. I can't heal my muscles quicker because there's no way besides like rest and recovery. And that's like the one thing I really lacked was like rest and recovery before this accident happened. And I definitely learned a lot of patience because I'm not a patient individual at all. Like I'm not patient. Like I'm the least patient person in the world.
And you know how people say sometimes things happen for a reason, and this is what it teaches you. Maybe that's what it is. And like life does have duality all the time, right?
Yeah.
There can't be cold without hot, and they're vice versa with everything in life, right? That's why there's a sun and then there's the moon, right? There's always the duality, and this is like this lesson in duality.
Yeah, like even when I had to take a patient to the bathroom, and they were like, because everyone's considered a high fall risk, so you can't leave the area until they're done. So it's like taking a shit. I'm just like like anxious and like I want to go move on to my other patient. I got other stuff to do, but yeah, I gotta stay with them in the bathroom just so I watch it so they don't fall. But yeah,
I'm gonna go Indian style here.
Go for it, man. For you guys that don't know, I was in a UTV accident where my abdomen got crushed, and I basically had to get a bowel resection because did a CT and basically showed necrotic bowel and my mesenteries were severed, so I had to get a emergent bowel resection on vacation. In the last days of vacation I spent in the hospital. It
was a trip. Peter went to 3 different hospitals in a 24-hour period, and it's interesting because we should get to it, man, because we're already like a few minutes in. Long story short, we decided to go UTVing, just like you said. What we were doing some donuts. We weren't doing anything smart at freaking all, man.
And the guy said, hey, the people before you were doing donuts and the UTV tip, so don't do donuts because you're gonna tip.
And I feel like Peter was asking for it because he had that little smirk on his face when he was asking the guy, so like what happens if you flip it? Or did anybody flip it before? Like just that smirk, and I just seen like Conrad too, just that energy, man. It's like something was brewing, something. And yeah, we did a donut or flipped, got crushed. I mean, it's interesting because like what my friends say is like people seeing things in action, how like something of a scenario happens like that. And I was never in such a scenario, but I had to kind of like use that critical thinking and like, oh my God, this is a life. What do I do? And it's like, man, we just flipped the UTV. Peter got out and he wasn't unconscious. He was just in freaking gruesome amount of pain.
Yeah, the adrenaline was rushing, so the pain was probably worse later on than at that exact moment. Like the shock was basically keeping me immune to the pain. But yeah, dude, but like when I got out of there, I was like on my all fours and like I couldn't move my legs, which probably was the scariest thing in the world. And then slowly I regained the connection between my nerves and my muscles, and I was able to get up. But that was wild. Like if it was maybe like 2 inches like lower, it probably would have crushed my pelvis. I probably would have been in like the pelvic cast or whatever. That would have been bad. And if it was like 3 or 4 inches higher, like it was my ribs. So imagine me getting a pneumo. If I got a pneumo, we didn't get to the hospital to the ER to like half an hour. I might have fucking died. You might have had to find a pen and puncture another hole. Not even pen, but pen puncture another hole for the air to come out. Imagine what if you had to do that to me?
Like I knew you had a pneumo.
I had a fractured rib, and that caused me to have a pneumo. So you had to take a pen, take out the ink and the inside, and jab it in between the intercostal spaces just to get the air out. Wouldn't that be a fucking story, dude?
I'm trying to think what I could use to make a hole in your chest wall like that.
Yeah, the pen. That's it.
The pen, yeah. There was a pen to stab you, or I would literally take a can that we had in the UTV and I would make it like a spear out of it, and I would honestly have to stab you in your freaking side of the chest.
That would have been fucking wild, dude.
Wow.
So yeah, so out of all that shit that happened, like that, I was lucky that it landed in that way. Even though this whole procedure sucked, like I'm still recovering from it. They took out 40 centimeters of small intestines and just a tad of my large intestines. Then I have to get a colonoscopy. Thank God for that. But
what also happened, like just to kind of bring the scenery back, is like I thought Peter had to get airlifted at one point, but that when I heard you scream after it fell, that is the best. It's the most gruesome sound I've heard, but also it's a sound that's like, oh my God, he's breathing and he's alive. Mm-hmm. Because like imagine if you just got split in half, bro. Like
fucking wild.
Yeah, that's like out of a movie. I mean, this felt like a movie too.
I'm lucky it was on sand too. Yeah. Because I feel like they push me into, like, I feel like if it was on cement or like some kind of a flatter surface or rocks, I feel like my spine could have been severed too.
Yeah.
But the thing that it was sand. I think the sand kind of cushioned it for the most part.
The landing for your spine.
Yeah, but it was scary. Like the drive with the ATV back to the Jeep and shit. Like my legs and my brain were not communicating, and I thought I was ending up in a fucking wheelchair.
What's interesting is our buddy was the next one to drive, and I'm like, Kamil, you want to drive? He's like, no, you drive. I'm like, sweet. But it was pitch black because we were out in the desert to watch the sunset, and we decided to drive home, and the accident happened. It was dark, and there was too much sand in my eyes, so I had to put on dark glasses, drive in the dark. Like that was the craziest moment of my life there, man. And then every couple minutes I'm checking up on Peter. I'm like, Peter, you okay? He's like, yeah. I'm like, sweet, and just flooring it. And we had to, like, you didn't get to the hospital for like over an hour.
Really?
Because we had to drive 30 minutes. We had to load up the UTV on the Jeep. Yeah. We couldn't like
when
figure
I got loading it, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was in so much pain, like so much discomfort that I don't know if I should fucking sit, stand, like everything was just bad.
Wow.
Fucking horrible.
And like I couldn't figure out how to like strap this damn UTV, so that took forever. Asked a stranger, and luckily the guy gave us 2 safety harnesses because the UTV could have fell out of the freaking trailer. Damn. The hinge, yeah. And it was kind of crazy because so I finally drive Peter to the ER, and I can't pull up to the emergency room doors because I have a giant trailer in the back, and I don't know how to drive one. This was my first time driving a Jeep with a freaking like a trailer and a UTV in the back. Like it was kind of nerve wracking. So what I did is I pulled over on the street, ran to the emergency room. I'm like, hey guys, my friend just got I was mumbling, and like she's like, what happened? And I'm like, oh shit, I think I just mumbled everything. And I'm like, my friend got into an accident. I need a wheelchair. And they're like, just pull up. I'm like, I can't pull up. I have a UTV. So I run down the street with this damn wheelchair. We load up Peter, and it's like I'm just like running up the street to the hospital with you. Like
that's probably a funny scene to watch.
Yeah,
that's wild, dude. Yeah.
And what's crazy is we talk about COVID, and I kind of tell my buddy, hey, go with Peter just in case, and they kick him out, and because of COVID. So what's shitty is, we hear about patients not being able to see their family members, and during this whole accident, I could even go see you in the emergency room. Like, I could have, took a couple days off and stayed with you, and it's like, bam, no visitors.
And the phones were down that Monday or Tuesday, right? So, like, there's no communication between, like, my parents or anybody because the phones were down, which is probably
T-Mobile had that outage.
Yeah. And, like, the first ER that we got to, like, they treated me fine. They gave me 100 of fent and 3 of morphine, and then they did a IV contrast CT of my bowels, and they didn't find anything. And then actually I talked to my doctor today, and I asked him why did they find anything. He's like, that was inflammation was starting to happen, and you probably had a leaky bowels, but it was not enough to catch it on the CT scan. So if I would have done like a swallow contrast, then it would have showed more. Okay. But the IV one would show less. Even my my friend that's a doctor that came to visit me, she said the same thing that IV contrast isn't the best to see your bowel. That's why when you do a bowel prep, we swallow it instead of getting it. Yeah,
you're right.
So so they didn't find anything. So they sent me home on what, like
ibuprofen,
600 ibuprofen and naproxen, and then Flexeril, which didn't. I mean, the Flexeril kind of numbed me for a little bit, but then at one point I just took 5 and pain didn't want to go away, and I woke up mad at like 4:30 in the morning or something like that, or like 6 or something.
Yeah, so it's like, how can you send somebody, and if you're potentially bleeding, you shouldn't be giving people ibuprofen. Yeah. And if they gave you 100 mics of fentanyl, like I put people to sleep on that shit, and they're intubated, right? And they gave it to Peter, and they told him to go home. Like they should have like at least put you on observation. Yeah. And like the whole night, you were just in pain, screaming. Like we had to like carry you inside the home. Your legs were literally not working.
Yeah, they were. Yeah. I remember that Nat's coming back and you kind of carried me inside. And my lactic was high too, like over 4, and then my anion gap was high too. So that should just signal on something. But
yeah, because like now that you say that, if there's a lactic in the ER that's 4 and above, they go into the ICU. They can't even go to med surg.
Damn.
So why did they discharge you with a lactic of 4?
No idea, dude. They probably just thought wasn't a big deal.
Dehydration.
Maybe probably dehydration, and I don't fucking know, dude. I mean, we had like White Claw like at some point during the day, but I think my alcohol. I'm not sure what my alcohol level was, to be honest.
It was actually less than 10. So even though you drank, there was no blood alcohol level in your body. No, I checked your records. Because remember, I had your records. I remember because I was looking through everything.
Okay.
Your glucose was like 200 something. So that just kind of shows you guys that, like, you know, when you're in fight or flight, your adrenaline glands are just pushing damn epinephrine and glucose to keep you alive. Technically, it's nuts.
Yeah, your glucose. That's insane. Yeah. So the first ER sent me home, and then the pain was so unbearable in the morning that I woke up, man. I'm like, man, we gotta go to another ER because this is not. It wasn't like it was a different kind of pain, and it was even worse. So I'm like, something's fucking going on, dude.
Yeah. So we went to. I don't know if I should say names on the podcast. The hospital.
I'm not sure what the second one was. Do you remember the name of it?
Yes, it was because I looked it up. I'm like in Google. I'm like hospital, and I took you to the closest ER, which was 6 minutes away. It was like St. Tempe's Luke's Hospital, and I put Peter in a wheelchair. We go into the ER, and that was like the worst experience ever.
Dude,
like
horrible.
We didn't see a nurse for probably over 15 to 20 minutes. We were dealing with a like
shift change, or there wasn't enough staff, or something.
And we were even
the system going.
We were dealing with a security guard and like a tech that like was just trying to admission us.
Right, a security guard came to help the staff before I even got it taken to the back.
Yep.
Which is wild. So I was there in so much pain. I'm like, I tell him something's wrong. Like we both said we're nurses. Like this is supposed to be happening, and then they finally take me in after I stand up and vomit on the ground and on Matt's shoes.
Yep.
And that's when they're like, oh shit, something's going on. And that's when they finally had a nurse come take me, and she was giving us attitude too.
Like honestly, I put Peter's vomit bag on the floor so I could help hold the door, and she's like, "You're spilling that." So like that's not important right now. Someone's gonna clean up the floor. Like we're dealing with a life here, you know. Yeah. So she was an asshole. The whole ER thing was just bad.
Dude, yeah, and even when she was taking me to the room, she was just like the expression on her face, whatever she was saying, I forgot what the fuck she was saying, but like all attitude and all like mean. And in my head, I'm thinking, I'm like, just fucking wait, dude. Just wait till you see the results, because I'm not just some fucking kid just in severe pain for no reason, you know. And once the results came back, she's like, oh shit, you know. Everyone's attitude changed because they knew that they couldn't do anything for me, and they knew it was bad. Especially like you came in with like a show, and you know how like because like it was change of shift. So I was like screaming to this guy. I'm like, I don't care if it's change of shift. Somebody get like he's in pain. Like and you had to get up from the wheelchair and started throwing up. Yeah, I know.
And then the ER nurse came in. I'm like, look how they're treating us. They're not letting us in. Look, he's vomiting. Then finally someone came and opened. You had to vomit in the ER till somebody came to see us. That's messed up.
It hurt so bad to vomit too. But then see that. Yeah, I don't know how much pain medication they gave me then, but I know a nurse tried to get an IV on me. She missed one vein, got the other one, and she got a second one in my other arm. But yeah, then they told me like that it was like kind of inconclusive. They're not sure what's going on with my intestines. They see something, but they're not sure what it is, and they can't help you here. So we're gonna need to take you somewhere else. So then I'm like, in my head, I'm like thinking, I think ambulance ride to a hospital. I'm like, can my friend drive me there? Because I don't want to pay for the ambulance ride with the insurance. And they're like, I mean, he can, but then we're not liable if you go hypotensive, and we're not going to give you any pain medication because we can't give you any pain medication with IV. We got to pull your IVs and everything. I'm like, all right, well, just take me because the pain was so bad.
If they gave you the supplies, I totally could have took you, and I could have just troubleshooted you on the way, but...
Yeah, so I don't know. Then the ambulance came, got me on a stretcher, loaded me up into ambulance, and they've snowed me pretty good on the ambulance. Because I don't remember most of the ambulance ride.
What was going through your mind, like, during all this shit? Because, like, this is kind of, like, scary when, like, basically you're, like, something's happening to me, I'm in a lot of pain, and they're taking me somewhere because this hospital can't figure it out. Like, that's crazy, man.
So the pain was so overwhelming to where I couldn't really think of, like, a lot. Even when they gave me the drugs, like, it kind of snowed my mind. But through my head, it was just, like, pain. And then, like, intermittently, it was, like... me thinking about bowels, me thinking about like, in my head I was thinking about, I thought I had like ischemic bowel or crowded bowel. I felt like someone's dying in me.
Damn.
That's how I felt, and then the pain just was continuous, nonstop, and finally, I mean, once they gave pain medication, it was like bearable. So, like throughout this whole ordeal, my pain was like well above 10. Probably the most pain I've ever been in my life. If people tell me compare my pain, it'll be 10. My new 10 is a bowel resection. You know, it's gonna be bowel resection pain is 10.
So you're gonna have some pain tolerance right now.
So yeah, there's pain everywhere. Then it finally got me to the other hospital, Honor Health in Scottsdale. They were pretty good. They got me there. Did another. I stayed there I think like a night. I feel like, because my surgery was the 16th and I got there the 15th. So I would stay there like overnight for observation. I think they admitted me somewhere to like a step down or even an ICU because I heard them talking about it.
I had a hard time calling you too to figuring out where they're, like there was no communication with the T-Mobile outage, so I had to kind of call the hospital and like talk to somebody to locate you. And you remember, it's so hard of pronouncing your name. Like, what's the name? Piotr. Fyodor? Okay, yeah, man, that's him. 26-year-old male.
Yeah. It was wild, yeah. And I got there, and then I like did another CT with contrast, another IV one, and it was like they're not sure what's going on, so they're like, we see something going on. We're not sure what it is. There's some bleeding. We're not sure how bad it is, so we're gonna do a laparotomy, and what's called laparotomy, the laparoscopic procedure where they take a little camera on one end and then a little robotic arm on the other end to see what's going on, and then but they're like, hey, when we do that, and we find something, we're not going to waste time because we got to stitch you either way. We're just going to open you up and operate if we find something that we need to operate on. So I'm like, all right, well, can you tell me the risks? They're like, yeah, you know, as every procedure, you know, you can have a allergic reaction to the anesthesia, things like that. You know, we're not sure what's going to happen post-op. We're not sure what's going on in there, but we think it's something with your intestines, so you might come out with a colonostomy or some kind of ostomy. That could be one of the situations that you endure. We're not sure how much of a bowel we're going to remove. You know, like, is it okay we continue with this procedure? I'm thinking about it. I'm like, well, what do I got to think about? Do I got a choice? They're like, you know, not really. So I'm like, all right, sign 3 papers, blood, consent, and then another one. And then they're like, all right, well, here's some oxygen. Take out my nasal cannula. I'm like thinking, nasal cannula, taking out my oxygen. They put the mask over me, the nitric, and I was out.
Damn.
And then that's all I remember. And then I woke up being wheeled down with no ET tube. So I don't remember the ET tube being pulled. Actually, so I have like maybe a few, like 3 seconds of the ET tube being pulled. But I remember.
Interesting. Do you have like a flashback?
But I don't. It doesn't come out with any kind of pain or anything. I can't tell you if it hurt or not. But I don't remember being intubated, and I only had like 3 or 5 seconds of being extubated, because I had to be somewhat with it for to be extubated, right? And then once I could talk, like the first thing I asked is, did I code twice? So I later thought I died, and they all laughed like, no, he didn't code. The surgery went well, and it took me up to the ICU with a PCA pump. So I had a PCA pump for one day and one night. I was in ICU post-op for one day, one night, and then they transferred me down to the 6th floor, which is like their stroke floor, which is pretty cool because I had my own room, and it was like a bigger room because they had some other floors devoted to COVID or whatnot, or the floor I was supposed to go on, they didn't have any rooms. So I basically went to the 6th floor with the rehab stroke people, which is not bad at all. And yeah, that was rough because like post-op day number 3, 4, well, before that, so also when I woke up, I knew that I had a chance of having a diastomy. So did like 4 deep breaths, looked down, lifted my gun up, saw a giant dressing, didn't see an ostomy, so that was like a big relief.
Thank God, man.
Because that was like my biggest fear. I was like, oh my God, am I gonna have to come out with a colostomy? It's gonna suck. But you know, shout out to people that have one, because that's like it's hard. It's a hard to deal with. It's life changing.
You gotta go through a lot of how would you even say it? Self-image, self-esteem of the image of your own image, to like go to the beach with an ostomy bag. You know, that takes a lot of power, man. So yeah, shout out to those people.
Yeah, respect for you guys. Yeah, if you guys have an ostomy, it would be pretty cool to learn how like to take care of yourself and how you got past it, because I know some people are born with it, but not everyone's born with it. Yeah. So if any of you guys listening have an ostomy, like it would be cool if you guys shared how your experience with it was. But thank God I didn't wake up with an ostomy. So post-op day number 3, number 4, I also came out with a JP drain. Post-op day 3 or 4, they saw my bowels are starting to get back to normal, so they started me on a clear liquid. And then after that, post-op day number 4 or 5, I'm getting these days mixed up, but then after the clear liquid, I had a full liquid. And then after that, my bowels became hypoactive, and sometimes the nurse couldn't even hear them. So what I did was stop all the pain medication. So I was getting tramadol and Tylenol, basically what I was getting, because those don't impact your intestine. But no oxys, no IV pushes of any kind of medication, no morphine, no nothing, because I was not going to go through that whole ordeal again.
There's no need. And for those that are listening really quick that are wondering why pain medication, so your intestines kind of work by peristalsis, and it naturally moves things like a wave of oceans, right, and pushes things forward. Well, when you take opioids, it slows that down, and some people get constipated, some people develop ileuses from the lack of peristalsis. So Peter's bowel's already slow because he just had a bowel surgery, so he needs... Basically, if you want to leave the hospital right now, Peter, you got to basically have some bowel sounds. They will not let you go, right? And pain meds slowed him down, so he had to just basically suck it up, no pain meds, and get through the pain, right?
Yeah, that was a mission and a half, dude. I'd rather go through the pain that I felt for 2 days straight than go through the whole post-op that I had.
Damn.
Because from a solid 5 days in the hospital, I didn't have any kind of pain medication. I had a walk, not to mention the scrotal edema that I had, dude. 3 pole balls, Jesus Christ. I was sleeping reverse Trendelenburgs at that point, or Trendelenburgs. Reverse Trendelenburg, right? Because reverse Trendelenburg is feet up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had the whole towel wrap underneath, because goddamn, dude, I was
kind of cracking a joke at Peter. I'm like, Peter, did you roll up the towel underneath your scrotum, or did you tell the nurse?
Nah, I did it myself. Nurse was too cute to do that for me. But yeah, dude, it was so like. Then I got my JP drain taken out, maybe like post-op day 4. Started walking probably post-op. As soon as I got a PCA pump, so post-op day 2, I started walking. I was walking before I even was eating. Yeah, they made me get up quick, and it wasn't bad. It just hurt.
Just pain, yeah.
It just hurt.
And you still have pain.
Yeah, I still have a lot of pain for the most part, but that disconnect was getting a little better. Like I was able to like move everything. It just once everything started healing, I was able to move a little bit better each day. Not a lot better, but just a tiny bit better each day. That's when I kind of knew it wasn't a spinal injury. It was more of like a bruising, like a soreness, muscular bone kind of pain. And now it gets better every day too. So I'm not really too concerned about it. But I can always get an MRI down the road if I feel like if still there's someone's like not up to point as how it was.
Or even prior to that, just go see a chiropractor. Have them crack your back and realign you. Might feel better.
Yeah, first off, these bowels heal, because if I get my back right now, I'll probably shit my pants. Just because the inside. Like when I go, it's weird because like when I'm driving and I hit bumps, it doesn't hurt, but literally the inside of me moves, and it's the weirdest feeling in the world.
Because it's the stitches, or you feel.
I feel like it's moving, like it's not healed in place properly yet.
Oh, okay.
So every bump, it's like inside moves, and it just feels so weird. It's just so uncomfortable.
How much inches of your small intestines did they remove?
40 centimeters.
40 centimeters?
Like 15 inches, yeah.
Maybe 15 inches in there kind of gives you a little bit more wiggle room.
I don't know, probably, dude. But I would hope everything like grows back to it's like where it was. And not to mention, dude, I got an infection too, where they had to pull 2 staples out early. I think I had 19 total staples, and they pulled 2 of them out because it got a little bit red, and the trauma surgeon actually like squeezed my skin together, and it popped, and all that pus came out. So now I'm packing with iodoform right now, and I'm just covering it. But
those that are not nurses that are actually wondering what kind of procedure Peter actually had. So he had an ischemic bowel, right? So your bowels were technically dying from the inside. And what happens with an ischemic bowel, the cells around it keep on dying. So it's like this domino effect that if you don't heal it in time, your bowel just keeps on dying, and they got to cut more. And they had to cut Peter down right down the middle, take out his bowel. I think the surgeon literally kind of takes a look at like everything, how your bowel looks, and then they got to cut one side and the other side of healthy tissue, and then get rid of the dead. And basically just connect them back up, suture him.
Yeah, I osmose them together. So they basically burn them and combine them.
Yeah.
Melt them together.
And then from there, it's like you just got repacked. Your guts just went back in your freaking stomach, which is crazy. So your intestines were taken out.
Yeah, dude. Plus, they had to clean them and everything. So yeah, they took out everything, man. It's wild. Yeah, because this is a pretty nasty scar, dude. This is going to be like a solid, like, maybe 8 to 10 inches, I feel like. Because it's like all the way up here. It's like that.
Yeah, it's gnarly, man. You're gonna definitely have a story when you're on the beach.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell somebody I got shot or something. Something cool.
So now you just need a freaking lean ass 6-pack. So you could have a 6-pack with a giant scar just running down, right?
Yeah, it's wild, dude. I lost 20 pounds, man. All that, I was stuck at 150 for such a long time, and I worked out for a solid 4 months. I got to 160, and I got the accident, and now I weigh 140, which is wild, dude. And that's with clothes on, so it's like 138 without clothes.
You just lost a lot of weight.
Yeah. Just in 2 weeks, like, it's insane.
You also have to take in consideration you got like your bowel removed, so you're gonna be a little bit lighter technically.
Yeah,
in a way, but that's not.
How heavy are your bowels? You know, it's probably not the heaviest.
Like a pound, maybe.
Think so?
I'm just eyeballing the hell out of it.
I'll probably look. But pound, it's still I'll take that pound, but yeah, like that's the thing is like movement. Like I've been through movement issues before with sciatica, so I know how that pain feels like, and getting my strength back at movement, that's not the issue. It's just being patient and letting this heal, and not trying to do too much in the beginning or like in general, because like if this doesn't heal properly, then this is gonna delay everything. And I'm not very patient. Like I've told Matt multiple times, I'm not a very patient individual, and like this and like me, I feel like I need to have control, and this is one thing that I don't have control of, you know, because this has to heal without any of my kind of input. It's my body doing its thing. Like it's not like sciatica where you can kind of stretch, you can move around, you can go to a chiropractor, have them crack you, do these exercises, and kind of decompress your spine. That you could do, but this I can't. Like I can't like mentally piece myself back together.
Yeah.
You know, things like that. And me being a patient, it sucks because like this is gonna take as much time as it needs. Nothing I could do to make it quicker. Nothing I could do to. I mean, I could slow it down, but I can't make it quicker. You know. Yeah. And plus antibiotics. I'm finishing my last dose of antibiotics today. I gotta take them like a little bit.
So it almost feels like in order to be content with the process, right? You just have to slow yourself down. You have to tell yourself, hey, Pete, you know, I just need to take 8 weeks to myself, and so be it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, yeah, you have to just mentally damn, that's crazy, man. You're gonna come out pretty cool out of this. Yeah. Maybe you're gonna be a changed man. Maybe I won't recognize you.
Maybe.
Maybe I'll grow a mustache.
I don't recognize myself. Like when I look at pictures of how I used to look compared to like how I look in the mirror now, it's just I feel a little skeleton. Like even looking at my thighs, dude, it's like, well.
You're making my thighs.
All those squats for nothing, dude.
You're making my thighs look thick, man.
I know, that's what I'm saying, dude. All that endurance that I worked so hard for, but it's okay because like I know the formula now because I've done it before. So
yeah. And now you're gonna have such a crazy mental game that you're gonna go in there so freaking concentrated, and ambitious that you're just gonna like kill it, man.
Yeah.
So
hopefully,
how does it feel like being on the other side? Like if there's nurses listening, like what do you think they would say? Like what would be a takeaway for you as a nurse now, like going through all this shit that maybe nurses don't have because they never had surgery?
I feel like I'm a pretty unique patient. I probably press the call light, so it's the hospital for a week. I probably press the call light maybe like once a day, if that even.
Wow.
Just because I don't need much, like I can't do anything for the pain because I can't take my medication, so it's like whatever. And they allow me to walk whenever I wanted to. So
nice.
So that's very nice, yeah. So I wasn't really that needy, but probably like the biggest takeaway is like these patients that are in the hospital for a long time, like it's probably better off checking them like more often than not, you know, especially now with no visitors. Not that I'm saying that I was fucking lonely, dude. I was lonely and in pain. Like it sucked. I couldn't do anything. Not necessarily that like I didn't really need a nurse to come in and like, you know, say, hey, how you doing or anything like that, but I could definitely imagine some people definitely need that kind of little bit of like a hello, seeing another face besides them.
Yeah.
Because the nurses I probably see the nurse 2 or 3 times a shift. You know.
Yeah, it's not much.
So the thing about a patient is they're there for like a week and no visit, no nothing, and he sees same person 3 times a day, and that's it. That's it for socializing. Like, you know, yeah. Like for me, I'm younger, but I can imagine if somebody was older having the same procedure with a different mindset. Yeah, depression for sure, dude. Yeah. I was for sure like depressed for a solid like 3 days in the hospital because I even contemplated like would I've even been better dead than going through this. I mean, obviously not, but when you're in so much pain,
was that bad.
When you're in so much pain and so much discomfort that's like the thoughts that go through your head. So yeah, so probably biggest takeaway is like go check on your patients like, you know, more often than probably normally do. Just to say hi because, you know, like I said, I can imagine somebody older. Don't have a chance socializing, especially because a lot of older people don't even have like FaceTime. They can't even see anybody else. They don't have Zoom downloaded. They don't have, you know, Skype or anything like that. So they don't see anybody. So you just pop in.
Especially like, you know, now we have, I don't want to even say the C word anymore, that viral ass infection around the world. Like, we literally put people like in fish bowls. When we're in the ICU and we have a bunch of pumps that are managing outside of the room, that patient is literally like facing us because we have to bring them close enough to the door, and they're looking like the inside out. It's like a fish bowl. So if you're in isolation, like, you feel lonely a lot more because people are coming in with these masks and like gowned up, and you're like some like alien. So imagine the loneliness and the separation you feel from humans there, man. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess two good things that I got out of this is I'm COVID negative, and I'm O positive blood type.
I'm glad we're COVID negative because we went to the bars out there prior. Yeah. It's funny because like I wish you mentioned Whoop, but like my recovery during that day was like 3% because I haven't got drunk in such a long time the night before, so I was hungover as shit, and then I had to like just like outperform. Like my strain that day was like through the roof, man. Yeah, dude. Going through all that, man. Like average heart rate was just insane the whole entire day.
Yeah, his Kyler likes to go for those runs in the morning. Yep. He's up pretty early. He's active now. He's probably the most active that I've ever seen him. I've known him for a few years. But yeah, dude. This Whoop band definitely, I'm curious on how my recovery's gonna be with this Whoop. It's still, yesterday was like 40%, the day before was like 16, and then it was like 22, so. But that's normal because it's hard to fall asleep.
So sleeping is your issue right now, right?
Yeah, last night was probably the best night. I feel like each night gets a little bit better. But yeah, when I was in the hospital, so you guys know how when you're sleeping, dozing off, and you jerk yourself awake? That was happening for literally like 2 or 3 nights straight. I had like this fear and anxiety of falling asleep. That my body and my mind were in such a loop that it thought when I would fall asleep, I wouldn't wake up.
Damn.
So I would doze off for like an hour, and I would jerk myself awake. And that would happen for like 2 or 3 nights straight, and that was just unbearable because I was physically drained, physically tired. Like I needed sleep, I wanted to sleep. Like my whole body was so exhausted, it just wouldn't fall asleep. Wow. Yeah, and then after that, was dealt with. It just went away. I had like the visions of like it happening over again, the reruns, the flashbacks. Like, why did I do this? What could I have done else to prevent this? Like, why did this happen? And then I kept seeing myself fall again with the pain. That was keeping me up, but now it's better. It's getting a little bit better. Like first night that I came back, when you came over with Bart and Conrad, I don't think Bart was here. It was Conrad and Luke. Like when you guys left, I barely slept. Like I had the thought that was engraved in my head was if I go to sleep, I won't wake up.
That's creepy.
That was just engraved in my head, and that's like I knew that I would be awake the next day, but even my heart was racing. Every time I was hard to fall asleep, I was that scared for some reason.
It's crazy because because technically your body and your mind are 2 separate organisms, right? So your body was literally programmed from that trauma. You know how people have trauma, they're reliving that moment, they're feeling it. Same thing happened with you. Your body is reliving that, and it's telling your mind that. It's crazy. It's like your body was having a mind of its own.
Yeah.
And now you're kind of like just slowly unwinding and giving it a break, right?
Right. And logically, I know it's not gonna happen, but that thought is just so strong, and that feelings are so strong where it just causes your heart to beat faster. You start to sweat, dude. My sheets were like probably so sweaty after that night. Like it was like I probably slept like 3 or 4 hours, and then like for some reason my sister came over later that night. I slept better, but I don't know. I had like that, like I wouldn't, like logically I knew it's not gonna happen, but my mind was programmed so hard, and even it had me respond with my heart, and my breathing, was elevated and everything because I thought I was gonna die for some reason.
And that's why you're having such bad recoveries on the Whoop because you're just not getting quality sleep. Like I wonder what your sleep disturbances are. A lot higher than usual.
It was only 9.
Okay.
But like it said, I was in 10 hours in bed, and only counts for 6 hours, but my recovery's like 38%.
Okay.
Because it's just like maybe I don't get disturbed where I wake up, but maybe like me just turning around, it disturbs my body enough with my insides that it'll raise my heart rate for that, a few seconds or whatever. That's probably what's going on with Dope. That's probably why it's sensing that I'm not recovering well, because every time I turn, I probably either wake up and I remember waking up, or it's just enough to kind of startle my body and kind of rev up my heart rate.
I'm thinking so. We'll make an experiment on you, and for next week's episode, we'll mention it. I wonder if when you get your staples removed, because you said they're bothering you so much.
I feel like I'm constricted, yeah.
You're constricted. I wonder, is all your stats going to improve, like your body, after the staples are removed? Because they're bothering you so much right now.
Yeah. They're not bothering me when they're physically in, but I just feel like there's something there that's making me concave.
Yeah. And you can't,
I feel like I'm not walking straight.
I noticed your posture,
Yeah, like when I sit like this for a long time, then like when I stand up, you can see I'm kind of like like
your shoulders
up,
rolled up a
but
little
when
bit.
I sleep flat on my back or on my sides, and that's not an issue when I wake up in the morning. But when I sit this for a long time, where I'm constricted like this, and the staples are still holding on, it's a lot harder for me to straighten myself up when I stand up. And I feel like it's just this. I feel like it's still holding my muscles together. So I feel like it's gonna be a little better. Even my buddy told me when he had a knee surgery and he had staples. Once he took out the staples, he felt like he was able to move it better.
Interesting.
So we'll see what happens tomorrow.
I never had that because I had a laparoscopic procedure when I got my appendix taken out. So I just had surgical glue because I just had a laparotomy. Yeah. I just needed those 3 incisions.
I was wondering why didn't give me surgical glue, because for our cardiac surgeries we do surgical glue.
Down the sternum.
But then when I think about it, like, you move your abdomen a lot more than you move your fucking sternum and your
plus if
chest.
You cough.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely move this a lot more, and definitely, when you eat, it bloats up and then goes down. I mean, even though when you breathe, yeah, but like just movement, like your core, you move your core so much. Yeah, I don't think surgical glue would work. Maybe like a little bit once for like your lap.
It makes sense because any belly surgery I see, they always do the sutures for that.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, they pulled 2 staples that were infected, and my doctor said that the fluid coming out of it now is fine. So I'm should be concerned. So yeah, so when I saw my doctor today, that's about it. I feel like I knew what was going on more than him. I feel like he was more curious on.
Oh, that was actually a good story. You should explain it. You went to a doctor today, right?
Yeah, so I saw my doctor, my primary, because my primary wasn't available until like July 3rd. I'm not gonna wait July 3rd to see a doctor, So I saw another one of his group, and like I felt like I knew more of the treatment to do and treatment modalities and what exactly going on than him, because he was just curious on like what happened, like, hey, so what did you gotta do? He was kind of like telling, like, asked me like so what do you gotta do now? Like when I showed him this, like initially when I came up and I asked him like, hey, can you move my stitches? He's like, yeah, we can move them. And I showed him the stitches. He's like, all right, well, I think of a surgeon downstairs, because he was. In the beginning, he was confident. Yeah, he probably thought it was like maybe 2 or 3 stitches that we got to do. When I showed him I had like 14 down my midsection and 2 on the side, he's probably like, oh shit, this is kind of more than I expected. So he's like, yeah, we got a surgeon downstairs, so he should be able to remove them tomorrow for you. So I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, do you guys have a staple remover? He's like, yeah, we should. He's like, do you have a sterile one? I'm like, yeah, I'm a nurse. I have my own sterile one. He's like, all right, well, bring just in case we don't have one. That's
funny, man.
So I was like, all right. And then he was asking me like these little questions. When I showed him my wound that I have, because I'm packing with iodoform, he's like, he thought it was a drain. He's like, when did they tell you can move that drain? I was like, Doc, I've been changing this twice a day. He's like, oh, you've been changing the tissues twice a day? I'm like, yeah, I've been packing it with, the sterile contact applicator. I've just been, tunneling it in there just to make sure he was right. He's like, yeah, okay, cool, good.
He thought it was a freaking drain, so funny.
Yeah. And then I asked him because before I took off the dressing, I was like, hey, do you guys have ABD, Metaport tape, so I can redo my dressing when I take it off? It's like, yeah, we do. They did it. I got 4 pieces of gauze and paper tape.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I have to wait. Which I was like, whatever, no big deal, dude. Good thing I didn't pull out the iodoform, because then I wouldn't have anything to pack it with. I had it in my car, but what am I gonna walk out with a hole in my stomach?
Why are you packing it? Because the surgeon pushed some pus out.
So yeah, so there was an infected. So he pushed some pus out. So to make sure it heals from like the outside or from the inside out, I put the iodoform there so the tissue that doesn't grow and cause like an abscess, or like that doesn't like properly grow from the outside or from the inside out, basically.
For those that are wondering, what kind of medications did you leave the hospital with, and what were you taking after this kind of belly procedure?
Antibiotics for a week, because like I said, I had that infection. The expired or not expired, but it's already done with the antibiotics. Then oxycodone 5s, and then ibuprofen, I think 600s. And that's really it. I was debating if I should ask my doctor for like an Ambien to help me sleep, but then I'm like, I've been sleeping slowly. I've been sleeping better. I don't want to get into any kind of
plus it's a benzo, man, and you might get way too dependent on it.
Yeah, even like something like that. Even like those oxys that I am hesitant to take. Maybe they gave me like 20 pills or something. I probably had like 4 so far. Yeah, like I didn't take any medication in the hospital, so I could probably deal with this, but
helps you sleep.
Yeah, probably. But like a couple days ago where I couldn't really sleep that good, I took like 2. Didn't do anything, dude. Still fucking wide awake, but yeah, not the purpose of the pain medication. The purpose of pain medication is for pain, not for sleep. But since it's a depressant, it slows you down and it kind of makes you feel a little groggy.
Asleep, yeah.
But I don't want to take any kind of more medication. But we'll see. We'll get my staples removed. Probably a cool scar. Like the only thing is now is hopefully that heals properly, that hole, because it's probably like maybe 1.5, 2 inches underneath my skin that still has to heal.
You know what I think you should do?
What?
I think on Instagram you should make a post of just like when those sutures are taken out with you just like flexing like this.
Oh, chill, dude.
And then make just like progress for yourself and hold yourself accountable to just like get into the best physical shape of your life. But you have to start at day one.
Yeah.
So you should take that photo, and it'd be cool to see that process.
Yeah, I want to be able to like lift and stuff and work out, or like at least like stretch. But now I have that hole. So once those staples pull out, like that hole has to heal too, because I can't like probably do any crazy stretches because of that.
I would do the full 8 weeks, man. Like, you're gonna be eager to start doing things, but that bowel surgery, the amount of, the length that they cut, it's better to do a full recovery, man. Especially your core, dude. You're very prone to hernias. So if you rush it, and I'm an expert at hernias now. You should be you can develop hernias a lot easier, and you might not notice it, but you're gonna notice it in 2 years, and you already started the hernia by not being patient and waiting the 2 months.
Right. Yeah. I'll probably just wait. I'll wait at least 6 weeks. Yeah, I could recover quickly. Because in the hospital they said I healed very nicely. Like, you must have been a healthy individual because you're actually healing better than I expected. And I got a fucking infection.
There you go. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah, but yeah, that's basically what I have. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask us. I'm down to share more with you. I'll probably make a YouTube video once I feel better about the whole process, touch upon everything. Maybe some tips for whoever is going to have bowel procedure in the future.
There you go. So, and you had an NG tube, man.
Oh, yeah.
Freaking.
I took it like a boss, dude. No cough, no nothing. I just, like, you ready? They got the big one. I'm not sure what size bore it was.
16 gauge, man.
Dude, all the way down. They're like, damn, you took it like a champ. I'm like...
Oh, it's a 12 French, I'm sorry. I put usually 12 or 14 French.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know which one this was, but I have a picture of it. But, man, it was fucking... Well, I took it like a champ. No fucking lie. I took it like a champ. There's 2 nurses in there. One was pulling my head, and I just, like, put it down there. Swallow it. And they're like, oh, you didn't move. I'm like...
You didn't even move, she said.
I'm like, fucking trust me, do anything to get rid of this fucking pain, dude.
At this point, you were going through so much, right? Yeah. Like, it's...
Yeah, it was wild. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, it could have been a lot worse. I'll just be thankful that I'm thankful that I'm alive. And just, I'm excited to like pull some David Goggins recovery.
You're gonna do it. I believe in you, man. Yeah. So, guys, thank you for listening. We'll see you guys next week. We'll keep you guys posted on PD's recovery.
Thanks, guys. Peace out.